Good afternoon. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK. Welcome to Clarity Crafts TV. I hope everybody's well. We had a little get together. I'm just going to move that mouse. Had a little get together earlier today at 10 o'clock for Groovy Tuesday. And I thought today what we do at 2 o'clock is we'll go a little bit crackers. So what I've done is I've put together, hopefully it will cover everybody. We've got groovy crackers, we've got dies as a cracker, and we've also got pre-cut die-cut crackers as well. So hopefully the Jane should be in the room with you, and I think Jane is going to tell me that the sound is all good. Sound is perfect. Thank you, Jane. So there we go. Jane's first in the room this afternoon. I can see we've got some friends viewing in, and just wait for the pull up a chair. We are, as I say, going to go crackers during the course of this hour. So let's have a look at what we've got on offer today. So as I said earlier, we've got four really. We have our A4 Groovy plate as a cracker, and you can use this to make beautiful decorative designs. You also have your pre-printed feel-good gnomes as well. Then we have our cracker blanks. So if you're into decorating them, you could use these great with the bow wob papers on a gel press. You could also use some of our lovely Christmas papers to add embellishments to them, or those lovely nutcracker stamps that Barb launched on Sunday. Perfect opportunity. And then we have a little mini cracker. So these are great for little table presents. Maybe you have a smaller Christmas tree and you're looking to decorate that in a different way. So I thought what we'd do this afternoon is have a look at some construction. So we'll have a look at the dies, we'll have a look at the pre-die cut ones, and we'll also have a look at the groovy ones as well. But I thought what we'll do is we'll start off with some samples. I'm going to move my coffee. I should have put this over this side, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in on a different camera. So let's have a look. Should we go, where should we start? Parchment, die cut, or dies? I reckon let's go groovy. Okay, so I've got a few, look at these gorgeous designs here. So if I bring the plate in first so you can see, it's an A4 groovy plate. Okay, and if you're interested in this, the item number is 40436, and I'll do it in a landscape way so that we can see. You have your instructions engraved into the plate. I'm going to zoom out a little bit now. There we go. And what this does, it gives you the shape of your groovy plate. This is where we will do our cutting, and then you have various different ways of decorating it. If I bring in my plate that's not in the packaging, you'll be able to see that it has different ends. So you can go straight, or you can go sort of like it's like a fancy bracket at this end. Then you have this lovely sort of swish, probably not the right word, swish, but when you have a look at the plate, you've got all these different decorative elements, not just for your cracker, but also for your other cards as well. So you've got a series of different types of snowflakes, Christmas tree, mistletoe, a bow, a robin, Christmas pudding. Then we've got a poinsettia, a holly, a star, and a lovely little sort of scallop circle. And then further down, we also have a row of stars, a row of fairy lights, and this. I mean, this will make a lovely border down the edge of your card. You could create a frame using it as well. And then you have this it's a cigar band. So you could do this on around a napkin, maybe. Put the person's initials, whoever's for their place names. Just use that on its own. So let's have a look at some artwork. Or where should we go first? Okay, let's go for a piece created by Linda Williams. Now, if I come in on this camera here, so where am I going? There we go, back there. Okay, so when you have a look at this, I mean, this is using a lovely coloured parchment, We've got some lovely ribbon on there as well. Then you've got the separate cigar band. I tell you, I'm going to go on the overhead and come in close. I've got more control over that one. So let me have a look. Hang on. There we go. Zoom out a little bit. Okay. So when we have a look at this, you can see what Linda's done. She's actually picot cut all of the little areas. Then you've got this lovely cigar band that goes around the outside, and that's taken from this section here. And Linda's used this edge here to create the frame. So rather than going for the straight line, Linda's replaced that with the scallop across the top. Okay. Then she's used multi-needle tools to add little bits of design to it. So if you look, I reckon 1, 2, that's either 5 in a, I reckon that's a 5 in a circle, that particular tool. I'm going to come in really, really close. And you can see you've got the 5 perforations with a little dot just on the inside. She's finished it off with some lovely perga glitter and even created a lovely little tag as well. So that's that one there. I mean, these are like keepsakes, aren't they? You would keep bringing these out year on year. Then let's have a look at this one. I really like this one. This one is from, I'm sure there was a name. This one's from lovely Jane Telford. So hang on, let me sort these cameras out. Let's see if I'm going to come in over on this one again. Where am I going? You think I'd get the hang of where these cameras are by now, wouldn't you? So what Jane's done, she's taken those fairy lights around the edge. She's done a little bit of grid work around to create the border. So Jane has really just taken the template to create the cracker, and she's used some of our other designs. And if I remember rightly, I think these were from the little border plates to decorate the cube box. And all of a sudden, a little bit of white work, a little bit of gold work in there, and then finishing it off with a lovely ribbon. So that is a piece by Jane Telford. Then we have this one from Sylvia Marshall. So what Sylvia's done, she's used clear parchment and then she's lined it with red paper. Because if I recall, I don't think we had coloured parchment back then. And what Sylvia's done, she's taken the tree and the holly and decorated the main body. I like this. You got that lovely panel in the middle. Then what she's done, she's taken a piece of parchment and created that threaded effect through the band, like so. Okay. And then what she's done to give it a little bit of stability is she's sort of put some tissue paper in there. Then we've got a piece from, another one from Jane Telford. Same sort of concept, taking clear parchment, lining the inside with some coloured paper, decorated the edges along here with that snowflake border that's on the plate. Jane's taken the sort of fancy bracket along there for the edges, and she's picot cut it. Then we've got one here. Let's have a look. Who's this one from? Oh, Jane obviously liked the cracker. So this one here is using one of our other plates. So this one is using, what's it? I think it's called Joy, Peace and Noel. It's an A5 square groovy plate. But I love this, you know, that lovely finish on the end. Look at that. If I hold it up like that, you'll see. So all of a sudden, because you've got all these different edges to them, you can finish them off in different ways. And this is using our blue parchment to create this piece. And then finally, we've got this one here. And who is this one from? This one seems to have shrunk a little. Okay, there's no name on this one. I'm guessing that this could be, I'm going to go on the overhead for this one. I reckon this one could be either Glynis or Josie. Okay, So she's used our darker parchment to create this one. She's created a lovely wrap in grid work, and then created that lovely cracker. Okay. I mean, they're beautiful. You imagine having these on your Christmas tree, and you can go really simple with sort of basic decorations, or you can really add that touch of luxury. Maybe some of the other plates you've got in your collection you can use to decorate them. Because what the plate does, initially, it gives you the template for the cracker. Let me zoom out now. There we go. So it gives you your shape of your cracker, and then you can decorate it however you wish. So if you like the cracker, then the item number for that is 40436. Now, excuse me, die cut crackers. So we've got two different options. Let's pop that over there. Our first option are our feel-good gnomes. Okay, so these are already decorated with the feel-good gnomes. Feel-good gnomes that you drew in the shack with Barb. So let's just open these up like that. You're going to get 12 in this pack. Okay, and the item number for the feel-good gnome crackers is 31188. Okay, look at these. So these have been pre-printed. All of the borders have been decorated for you as well. Okay, it's got a little space there to put a sentiment or somebody's name, so you can personalize it. And I've got some pieces here. Let me have a look. So this one, oh. So no colouring in, just a cracker assembled with some ribbon. Okay, so these would be great for the children to colour in. There we go, you can see those, can't you? For the children to colour in as well. I'm going to stick there. All right, hang on, come there. There we go. If I hold it at that angle, you can see the lovely feel good. I think it was, what was it? It was be good, feel good, do good. The lovely three little gnomes. Then we've got one that has been coloured in. I love this one. I think Dee created this. So you've got the lovely sentiment. I mean, look at the sepia colour on there. So this one has been coloured in, and then it's sort of to take the whiteness away. Let me hold it up this way. Take the whiteness away. It's been brushed with an ink pad to tone in. Lovely colouring on there. Peace and love, and then it's got one of our sticker word stamps in that space that fits absolutely perfectly in there. Then maybe it's for a younger person. There we go. So I reckon Jane did this one, definitely for a younger person, for Colin. So lovely little, so Jane has added some stamps of some stars. If we can compare that with that, you can see that Jane has added some stuff. But look at those two together. They look completely different, don't they? Just a little red nose on there, little shy, that one. And then going around here, where's she gone? Look, aren't they lovely? And then these ones here, let me show you these to give you some colouring inspiration. And let me just check all the back of these. Okay, right, let's sort these out into, I should have checked the names on the back. Lone. Hang on, jungle. Right. Okay. That one. And the card on this, it's 200 GSM. So it will take your ink. So you like, really lovely for colouring. Now I'm going to bring this one in. This has been coloured in by Elaine Milner. I think this is all we need to see really, isn't it? The main focal point. So that one is by Elaine Milner. Then the next one is also from Elaine. Then we have one from D. Paramore, and Dee's coloured this in with polychromos. Look at that. Let me just, I mean, these are all stunning. Even if you don't want to use them as crackers, chop off those and you've got a lovely little topper. This one here has been created by D as well. Then this one, see, I thought this was a Jane one, but this is D as well. Don't they all look so different depending on how they've been coloured in? Yeah. As Jane said, you can go all grungy on the jelly plate. Absolutely. You could use that new bow wob trick from that Sam Crow came up with. Now, this one's definitely a Jane Telford. So Jane has used our backdrop stamps to sort of like illuminate each of them individually. I really like that. But it's definitely Jane because it's pink. And then this one is by Barb, because if I bring this one up, so this would have been a demonstration that Barb did previously. Look at the shading on there. Look at how different his moustache or beard looks by working on that. Sally says they're good for jewelry gift boxes. Yeah, definitely. You could put a lottery ticket on the inside. And these are big enough that you could, I reckon, let's have a look. This one here is assembled. 1, 2, 3. I reckon I could get 3 Ferrero Rocher chocolates in there. Maybe 4 at a push. So that is the Feel Good Gnomes. And if you like those, then the item number for those is 31188. And this is all about like last minute, isn't it? So if you're thinking, oh, I mean, you can often go to the supermarkets, the high street, and you can get all the fancy ones. But with these, you can personalize the gifts that you're going to put inside rather than getting sort of, I mean, obviously you can go real high end with luxury crackers, but these could be luxury. You've invested the time in creating these, and you can personalize. So if you've got people around for dinner on Christmas Day, then you can personalize, go, right, this person likes that, this person likes that, and find the gift to suit them. So whether it be a table present, or I know sometimes tradition after Christmas dinner, you could sort of like pass a crack around as a little present. Secret Santa presents or secret gnome presents. So these would be good for that as well. And then if you're thinking, oh, I haven't got time to colour in or anything like that, you could then go for our blanks. Okay, and these are completely blank. So the item number for these are 31742. You're going to get 12 of them in the pack. Same quality of cardstock. It's 200 GSM. And it really does take all the different mediums, from the gel plate to your colouring pencils to your pens. And as I said earlier, I mean, Gilly suggested the bow wob papers, or you could take the Christmas papers and create. Remember we was on with Deborah Wheeler last week, and she cut the Christmas papers into strips. You could use those to decorate your crackers as well. Okay, so if you're thinking, right, I'm really into the bow wob effect, I really want to do that, because we also have, let's have a look at the Christmas papers there. We've also got the I forgot about the Christmas bow wobs. So we've got the Christmas bow wobs as well, like so. So set 1 is the same, yeah, it's a black on white, white on black. So it's the same designs as what's in your Christmas papers. If you wanted to go for the set, the item number is 31714. If you wanted item set 1, then it's 31711. And if you want item set 2, it's 31712. Okay. So that trick from Sam Crow on the gel press, really, really good. So that gives you another option. But I think these are nice. And let me show you, right, I'm going to show you these in a minute. Right, so let's pop these to one side. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Everyone all right? I can see there's lots of chat going on in the room this afternoon. 3 chocolates will fit in there perfectly, says Jane. Jackie says the chocolates won't get as far as the crackers. No, I'd be exactly the same. Oh, I have to buy them especially for the crackers. No. Okay. So finally, we have really quick and easy. This is our mini cracker die. Okay. And I love this because if you've got scraps of paper, you can use these to make little crackers. And on Sunday, Sheila Metzeler used a nutcracker stamp to create these lovely little set of crackers. And this has been created using our Christmas papers. Okay, so when you look, I reckon you would definitely get 2 crackers per sheet out of these. And then that lovely little character from the nutcracker stamp set decorates them beautifully. Isn't that a nice little gift? Maybe you do craft fairs, then you could make a little set of crackers. Don't necessarily have to put anything in them. I mean, these ones, you're not going to get any Ferrero Rocher in there at all. But isn't that a lovely gift to give to somebody? And I know some people at home, you've got your main Christmas tree in the living room, and then maybe you've got a conservatory or a porch where you have a smaller Christmas tree. And these will fit beautifully on there to add decoration. Because it's a die, you can die cut from your parchment, you can die cut from your card and your paper. And I'm going to show you this afternoon how to use it with our self-adhesive felt. And it really does change the look. Let's have a look at some samples using the mini cracker die. Okay. All right, let's move this one out of the way. There we go. So let's have a look. This is using our feel good note. Let's come on this one. There we go. Look. Let it snow. So these were the pesky elves that that Deborah was showcasing last week. So you could put your die cut elves on there, your gnomes, your little penguins. So you've got that one there. Then you've got another one here. Let's bring this one in. Look, imagine these on the table. Aren't they lovely? So you could take all your stamps. These will definitely look lovely on the gel press to add colour to. Then we've got this one here. So different. Oh, where's its head gone? There it is. Look, that little tinsel on there. Bring it round. Colouring in the little letter boxes. Merry Christmas. Oh, here we go. Here we've got the little gnomes. The feel-good gnomes coming in here. Look. Sending love. I really do love these. I mean, these are great, and they can be really quick and easy. Then we've got, oh, look at this one, little poppets. So using the bijou or the mini Pergamano poppet stamps. That's the Christmas ones. And we've now got the pixies and sprites as well. So this was from Glynis to Barbara. I think Barbara's already had whatever was in there out of there. Then you can go completely different, and you can take, these are some of Tina's stamps on here. Dream, believe, hope. So perfect for, these could be lovely wedding favors. You could send out little invitations in them to parties. Then we're going to move on to some parchment. This is one that Glynis has created, and she's done some lovely grid work on this one. Look. So you imagine you've got your mini crackers in your die. You could go for your large crackers with the groovy plate, and then you can go for your die cut ones as well. So you can have a real selection. This is lovely, using some of our coloured parchment again. Peace, joy, and hope. It did say joy, didn't it? I'm reading it upside down. And hope. So look at all the plates. Who's done this one? There was a little name at the bottom there. This one is Josie Davison's created that one. Then Josie Davison's done this one. This is using Tina's flowers on there. These are just beautiful. Then we can go green. This is a lovely green parchment. And I reckon that this may have come from, oh, what plate would that be? A little tiny one. I reckon it's probably come from either the gnomes or the elves. And I reckon that has been done with the Pergamano gel pens on the groovy plate. Don't you reckon? And then finally, this is the felt die. Look at that. For some reason, it makes it look bigger. It's not. It's exactly the same die, but it's got this lovely softness to it. Really love that. And that's using our nested heart dies to put a little heart on there. So that could be for Valentine. Maybe, I don't know, you're going to propose to someone or an anniversary. That would be nice, wouldn't it? A little gift in there. So there's so many different options depending on what type of crafting you do. But I know many of our friends at home, they do stamping, they do groovy, they do die cutting. There's a massive overlap on all the different types of crafting. So I thought, where should we go? We're going to start off, I think we'll go easy. We'll go small. We'll go for the die cut first. Okay, so let me pop all these lovely bits of artwork to one side. Now, earlier in the year, I think it was last year as well, we launched the Felt by Clarity range of products. So self-adhesive felt and a collection of beautiful, there was a Christmas tree, there was a funky flower, a funky leaf, there was a star, and there was complete kits available. So you got the die, you got the felt, you got the backing to make lovely tiles or coasters. And what I've got here, I've got my stash of felt, okay, in here. So let's have a look. I'm going to zoom out now because we have a lovely rainbow of colours available on the website. Okay, so let's have a look. So we've got the red. Do I go red for traditional Christmas? We've got the black. These are our tile backers. So these ones here are non-adhesive. Okay. And then look, let me just flick through. This is just a small selection of colours. So maybe you've got a theme for this year's Christmas. I know many of our friends at home have sort of colour themes. Maybe you want a traditional bright green, or you want more of a forest green. Maybe you want to zest it up a little bit and go the lovely teal, chocolate brown, lovely lilacs, the reds, the lemons, the greys, the pinks. Okay, so that's that stash there. What have I got over on this side? Lilacs, great. I loved it. This deep, rich purple. The olive, that's a nice colour. The darker grey, more of a sort of a sandy colour, a salmony colour. There's so many different colourways that you can go for. And these are so easy to do. Okay, right. So let's have a look. Where do we start? I need to choose a colour. So many colours to choose from. What should I go for? I think I'm going to go for, what colour was my one that I made earlier? Okay, so I'm going to go red, and I'm going to go for a different shade of red. So this is your bright red here that I've made. So let's go for more, I think this one is a garnet. So it's more of a sort of like a rich, deep red. Okay, but you're thinking to yourself, but it's self-adhesive. Surely it's going to get all sticky. Ha ha ha, it's not. Just a very simple and easy trick. Now, maybe some of you saw me do this on TV back in the Create and Craft days up in Oundle, but unfortunately they're no longer available for you to go back and watch again. So I thought this will be a perfect opportunity for me to show construction, show how they work, not only for the dies, but the die cuts and also for the groovy. And then, as you know, on our website, we've got our Clarity TV button where you can go back and watch all of the previous shows that we bring to you. And they'll be there. I mean, obviously the library will grow over a period of time, and then we'll look at putting them into different areas on the website. But what we'll do is I'll arrange for this video from today to be uploaded against the product. We'll put it up against the die. We'll put it up against the die cuts and also against the groovy plate. So if you think, oh, I can't remember what show it was, but if I go to the product, then you'll be able to find the video on there as well. Okay. So how do we start with our piece of adhesive felt? Because if I take my die, okay, like so, take it, cutting side face down, and I cut it, then I'm going to get sort of like the yellow effect, the waxy side on the inside, which I don't want. So all I'm going to do is take a piece of copy paper. That's all you need, a piece of copy paper, and we're going to attach our felt to the copy paper. And what that does, it gives us a little bit of stability. It sort of stabilizes the felt. Okay, so this is a trick that I got from Bob many, many moons ago, especially working. Imagine this is a piece of double-sided adhesive sheets, and you want to attach it to something. So what I'm going to do first, okay, is I'm going to take my 1 needle bolt, and I'm just going to start to peel back a corner. Okay, so this is a top quality felt. Okay, so we're going to just reveal a little part of it, and then what we're going to do is just roll it back, and this is super sticky. Okay, like so. And just fold that back, and then it doesn't matter where on the copy paper it's going to go. I'm just going to pop that like that, as long as it's flat, and then I'm going to slowly remove. Now I'm going to use my ruler on this side, like so, and I'm going to move my ruler better without the groovy grip on the back, and then just very slowly move the ruler along so that I don't get no bubbles, it's nice and flat. Okay, and then you slowly, that's it. Easy as that. Okay, now what we're going to, I would suggest keeping this is always useful, this wax paper. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine. So I've got my sandwich. So I've got my felt face up, and I'm going to have my die cutting side down. Okay, I'm going to be a little bit frugal. I'm going to come over as close to here as possible because I can use this as well. Maybe I want to die cut some hearts or use some of our other dies to create embellishments. So we're going to build our sandwich like so. Turn it around that way, and then fingers and thumbs. Now the magnetic sheet has 2 sides. The shiny side is magnetic, and the dull side is not. Okay, but what I like to do, because especially when I'm working with felt, is I like to introduce another piece of copy paper on top, because if there is anything on the magnetic sheet, I don't want it to transfer to my felt when I run it through the machine. Okay, so we've got our sandwich, and now we'll run it through. So I'm using the Kit and Caboodle. I love it because the plates stay absolutely flat. And I've been using this one for a long time now when we're prepping for our summer retreats and stuff like that. Thousands of times this has gone through the machine. Okay, so let's open up our sandwich, like so. Ooh, sorry about that. Like so. Then all I'm going to do, look, cuts like butter. It really, really does. And then push it out. Look, you can keep all these little pieces for another project if you wanted to, but you can see how they just fall out. Okay. There we go. Dum, da, dum, da, dum. I mean, if you've got the time and the patience, you could build like a little star, couldn't you? Maybe do a little tag to create. That'd be nice. So have a little tag, put a little gem or a brad in the middle. Okay, little poinsettia. So let's remove that off of the counter. And now let's have a look at assembly. Okay, you can see now how it has a little bit of rigidness to it, and that's only because of the copy paper. But what we want to do first is to create the folds. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to cover the openings, the little diamond area. I'm going to go up against the edge, and this is the same whether I'm doing it for the die cut using the die, whether I do it with the pre-die cut card blanks or the ones with the gnomes on, and also for the groovy. So it's the same principle in relation to the folds for all of those three different options. Take a ruler, put it up against the edge, and then you're going to tease it towards you, like so. Once you've done that, I then work on the back, take my ruler, and just flatten it. Okay, so now what we're going to do there, so this one comes in on itself. Now this one needs to go, if I could work on the back, this needs to go on inwards on the back of itself. So the ruler again, bring that in like so. And then this one, yeah. Okay, ignore that. This one, this one, you're going to go on the back and you're going to bring that way. It's all about the mountains and the valleys. Okay, so that one goes that way, like so. Then this one comes, I'm going to go this way. I'm covering up the weakest area of the piece. So now this one goes that way. There we go, that makes more sense. And then this one is going to come back on itself. Oh dear. So you need another pair of hands, don't you? Okay, so that goes like that. So now what we've done is we've created that dip for the cracker. So when you close it up, like so, it's going to create that fold, just like so. Okay, okay. So you can see now, as we bring that round, it starts to form the shape of the crackers. So let's see if I can get this one right. This one on the back, ruler over the end of the cracker, and then we're going to bring that one in like so. Apply down. And this one, we're going to do that one and bring it that way. And then finally, on the back, and we're going to come this way on that one. Maybe I won't put this up against a product. So now what we can do is just gently bring those together like so. And doing construction on live TV is always fun. Now what we need to do is to now create the cracker. And to do that, you need, believe it or not, for these little mini crackers, you need a stencil brush. Okay, you're thinking, why do I need a stencil brush? Because what that's going to do, it's going to help it hold its shape. But before we start to create the shape, what we need to do is to attach some glue to the ends. Now, I found from experience, I could use the high-tack tape, like so, to do that attachment, but I found it really difficult to remove the backing. So for me, the best option was to use some of our Clarity double-sided adhesive sheets. So all I'm going to do is put the brush to one side. Let's have a look. I just want a little bit, I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller, like so. So what I want is like a strip. So the strip is a little bit shorter in length there, and it just needs to be a little bit narrower. Okay, so what we're doing in effect, we're creating our own low tack tape. And then we're going to do the same for the ends. So let's just cut those down like so. That's probably, yeah, and then we'll go a little bit there. And this is the same when you're using the parchment or whether you're using the die cuts as well. So let's take a little bit there, and that's going to go there. So this is where a good pair of tweezers come in handy, especially for the smaller cracker. So let me just grab my tweezers out of my bag. Obviously took them out and put them some. They're in the other box. Let's have a look. There we go. Right. So what we're going to do first is remove one side of the double-sided adhesive. It doesn't matter what side. And then we're going to position that like so. And this is the same type of double-sided adhesive that is on the self-adhesive felt. So that comes like that. That one's going to go there. We're going to take the next one. Go like so. I was lucky all the same side came off on those, which is really good. Okay, so what we're going to do now, you can see it's quite flat. I'm just going to take the stencil brush handle. This is what we need it for. And we're just going to roll it around the handle. And what it does is it helps it to create the shape, okay, of the cracker. Rather than sort of try and do it in your hand and everything else, I personally find it easier just to use something, especially like this, because what it does, it starts to help with the forming of the shape. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do the middle panel first. So I'm going to remove, this is where the fun starts. This could take for the rest of the hour. I'm going to remove, so make sure it's completely down. Remove the back. Okay. Oh, that wasn't too bad. And then what we're going to do now is this is going to come in. I'm going to take the handle of my brush like so, and it overlaps into position. Okay, let's have a look. That goes like that. That goes like that. That goes like that. And then because I've got the handle in there, I can apply the pressure to make sure it's completely stuck. Then I'm going to repeat on each of the two ends. So just make sure that that is nice and secure. Come on now, play nicely. Where's my one needle bold? That's it up. See, Pergamano tools come in useful for so many different things. This now go, and the reason also is because I can get my fingers in still. If I didn't have the handle of a stencil brush, then I can get my fingers in there to apply the pressure to ensure that it's completely stuck. Then we're going to take that and do that one like so. Now we can remove the final piece. And as I say, I do think that the Clarity double-sided adhesive sheet is a better bond with the felt to the felt as opposed to using the red liner tape. So now that's going to come off from there, just like so. There we go. got it. And this is the final part now. That's going to come over like so. And that is attached to that. Now gives us our cracker. And all we need to do, we can take some ribbon, or maybe you've got some of like, especially the little ones, you've got some of this fancy ribbon. So all we're going to do now is cut a piece of that. We're going to wrap it around there. I'm rubbish at tying bows and knots, but what you're going to do, so fill it up with your gift of choice, and then you're going to bring that in like so. Now you could, I've used copy paper just to show you, but you could use coloured paper. You could take some of our companion paper, depending on what colour felt you've gone for. So we're taking a bit of this, and we're going to go around that side, like so. That brings it together. And now we have, I'll just cut this off like that. Could have gone all swirly, but I think they're so delicate in their own right. It doesn't need too much of a... So now we have a little cracker. So we've got that one in the more brighter, potentially traditional red, and then you've got that lovely sort of garnet colour as well. That wasn't too bad, was it? Nice and easy, he says. No pressure. Now I'll put my die back in, and then I can carry on with my batch making. Excuse me. So let me show you the groovy. Okay. So it's the same principle as the felt one. Move all this out of the way. And where's one of those lovely crackers? Let's have a look at this one from Linda Williams. Look at that. So I've already traced out my cracker, haven't decorated it. So I've got my plate. And what I did to save on the cutting, I brought my parchment to the edge like so. So what it means is I've got one less edge to cut. I could have gone smack bang in the middle, okay, but just to save on some cutting time, I've just gone right to the edge of the parchment. I've gone for one of these straight edges just to keep it nice and simple. Okay, now what we're going to do is we can cut this down. So you have options. You can picot cut, and if you was going to picot cut, me personally, I would just do these two edges. Okay, so if you're going to picot cut, then you need to leave some space along here. There's no point picot cutting along here because it's all going to be hidden. If you want to picot cut in between here, that's entirely up to you. Okay, but I find the easiest way, just keep it nice and straight, concentrate on the design in the middle. Okay, and now I'm going to bring in, I can't believe, when it's so sad. I remember being with Barb, and she had this craft knife in her pink bag. I thought, I haven't seen that. Barb's not normally a sort of a craft person. Guillotine, paper trimmer, but no, not seen. And Barb, I said, oh, what's that? I thought it was some fancy tool. She went, oh, it's a Japanese craft knife. She said when they went to the trade show at Frankfurt. I went, oh, they're nice. She went, yeah, we're going to start stocking them. I thought, bonus. And it's really, it's light, it's ergonomic, it's got the weight at the main part where you hold it. So the weight is here, and this is lightweight. You get the different blades. And let me just bring in one to show you. So in here, you've got 5 blades at a 30-degree angle and 5 blades at a 45-degree angle. You've got your little case there to put your waste in and more blades. And then obviously it's got the cap. And then for me, so it's just like so you can replace the blades. You just unscrew, pull your blade out, and then replace it. Okay, and once it's in place, turn it up and it's done. Okay, but it's just so comfortable in your hand. It really, really is. So next what we need to do, I'm going to use my Pergamano ruler to cut this out. Now I've got some groovy grip on the back of my ruler. Let me show you. If I put this on here, and it'll be the same whether it's on paper or card, because the ruler is plastic, it will slide around. But by having the groovy grip on the back, and this is why Barb sourced the groovy grip back in the day, was because I did a show on TV, and as I was cutting, it was just a normal ruler, and as I was cutting with the blade, and it slipped and I cut straight into my piece of artwork. Okay, so Lynn's asked, what angle will you use to cut around the cracker? So I go for the 30-degree angle blade. Okay, if I bring this up, we can see. So that is your 30-degree angle blade. So it's got that nice cutting edge along there. There we go. But it's got that really fine point on it. I prefer to cut towards me, and I'm cutting away from my work. So glasses on. So I'm going up against the steel edge of the ruler, like so. And the steel edge is just on top of the white traced out line. So place that on top. And there's no rules to say that you have to cut anything with one pass of the blade. I can go over it several times. Okay, so I suppose it's similar when you're tracing out a groovy plate. There's no rules to say that you have to get that crisp white line with the first pass of the tool. I know when Tina's tracing out, she goes over it twice. You see it, she does it automatically. There we go. So now I've got a really beautiful crisp cut. Often in the past, what I found with different blades from different craft knives is that they can be quite, they don't look it, but they're quite thick. And when you cut paper or card, it can create like a burring, like it creates a gutter. But with this, because it's such a fine blade, it really does give you a beautiful crisp cut. So now we're going to go to the other end of our cracker, like so. We'll do this in one pass of the knife. There we go, like so. Okay, so here comes the scary part. Which bits do I cut out? It's a good idea if you're not sure, because when you're looking at it and you're holding a craft knife and you're thinking, oh, and then you get carried away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it. These are the bits that I'm going to cut out. Okay. So all of this here, all of this here, and all of that there. That I'm going to cut away, because what it's going to do is leave these sort of flat triangles rather than the diamonds. So, craft knife, ruler. I'm going to go for my ruler and my craft knife. So in a way, this is what I would do when would I do it? Oh, if I'm perforating, I'm going to go all in one direction first. So start at the top, and then as you come down, when you get to that line, bring the knife upwards and you'll get a nice clean cut. So then move along and repeat that process as well. So I'm going all in the same direction first. Rather than do each one individually, it's the same picot cutting. If you're going all in one direction first, for me, it makes it easier. So we're going to go along like so. And then, and you know what? If you happen to cut into the white bit or you cut it off, it doesn't matter, because this bit is going to be hidden in the ribbon. Make sure you go up against the blade like so. Okay. There we go. That one along there. And once you get into it, if I was doing this at home, I must admit I would do this freehand without the ruler. but for you at home, I'm using the ruler. So now I'm going to go across the top one, like so. Coming to that point. And remember, I'm looking at where I've scribbled the mark. I mean, at home, you'd be concentrating. You wouldn't be talking to anybody, hopefully, while you're doing this. So then that comes along here, and then we move it along. Maybe move your parchment, keep your ruler in the same position, and then just take the pressure off of the ruler, slide your parchment along, and do it that way. You'll find what works for you. If you're not a craft knife person and you're not a picot cutter, then you can also cut it out with a pair of scissors. And I'll show you another way of doing that after I've done this end with the craft knife. Okay. How are we doing for time? 5 to 3 already. Goodness me. So that comes down to there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, okay, I'm going to come across here on that one. I'm going freehand now on this bit. So then this just comes away. And then like so. The ruler will give you a better finish, but just for speed, I'm just going to do it freehand. Okay. If you've got a good pair of glasses, that often helps. And then like so. That one like there. And then this one here. Take that one down there. There we go. So that's that one there, that one there. So I've got one more, I think. I've got 2 more. No, one more side to go. Okay. So don't forget the piece where we've scribbled in the middle is the piece that is going to fall away. Now, if you've gone for the little mini cracker die, this is already done for you. If you've gone for the pre-cut die cuts that Dave cuts out on the platen press, they're already die cut for you as well. Okay. So it's all about having choices. Let's set that one there. So let's have a look. So that, oh no, there's that one there. See, I'm thinking, why am I was going to cut here? So that one there, like so. And if you hadn't scribbled on those, I'm sure you could potentially find a use for the little bits that are falling out. Okay, and this, when you're working with parchment, although parchment is quite delicate, if you crease it, it's creased. But it's quite robust. It's really sturdy. So that's an option if you want to cut out with a craft knife. The other option is to picot cut and to perforate into picot cut. But if you're not into your picot cutting or with a craft knife, you can still cut them out with a pair of scissors. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn over to the back. See if I can get this one right. I'm going to turn over to the back. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to gently tease the parchment on that fold. Okay, because if I was to just try and fold it and it doesn't go straight, then I've creased the parchment and I would say crackers to that. So now I'm going to do this one that's going to come in like so. Okay. Okay. So that is there. Now we need to create the reverse fold. So this one in the middle, I'm now on the front of the parchment and we're just going to gently tease that forward. And once you're happy with that, if I then fold that over and just gently apply the pressure on the back, okay, So what I can do now what I want to do is cut away the pointed triangle. So I could take a pair of scissors, like so, and I'm going to go all in one direction first, like that. And the cutting out, I mean, you could do the cutting out before you decorate it, so that if you did make a boo-boo, then you haven't wasted the time creating the piece of artwork. But I would do my cutting out first and then decorate afterwards. Because if the scissors slipped, or, do you know what I mean? Okay, so now that's going to cut across there, like so. And because I like the direction in which I'm working, I'm going to flip it over and do that. And you can do that. And then easy peasy. It really is. So there's always different ways of cutting out those areas in the middle. Almost there on that. There we go. One more to go, which is that one there, like so. And then just make sure it's cut all the way through. There we go. If it hasn't, then just turn it over and go back in, because you may think, oh, I've gone right up to the, see, I hadn't there. I was more being safe on this side. So now I've got, this side's been cut out with a craft knife, and this side has been cut out using a pair of scissors. So what I also want to do is show you, when you're working with the, as we said earlier, the assembly, how I assembled with the felt mini cracker, it's the same principle whether you're doing it on the parchment as whether you're doing it on the cards or whether you're doing it on the die cut. And the area that you want to sort of cover with your tape, okay, if I was doing this, I'd put low tack tape along this edge here, and then I'd put a ruler like I have here, and I would put the low tack tape here. So on this one, where's that pen gone? I would put some low tack tape there, and then some low tack tape there. And what that does is that this one sits inside, and then this one here gives you that crisp, clean finish when they're together. When we come to create the fold, when I was working with the smaller ones, I used the handle of the stencil brush. But when you're working with the larger ones, you need something a bit larger. So a rolling pin may help. So, oops, sorry. So a rolling pin. So this is the camera. And this is a tube from foil, cling film. You just want something that's a rolling pin. Apparently you can't sell them in shops because they're an offensive weapon. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, if this one is decorated, I'll do it on the card because I can be a little bit more. And all I'm going to do now is roll. You don't want anything, it needs to be a lot narrower than the actual card itself. Okay, and all you're going to do, imagine you're rolling out some pastry. And what that does is it starts to give it its shape. Okay. And then I would carry on doing it, you just keep teasing it. And it's the same with the parchment. Card is a lot more robust as well. Okay. But you could still do this with the parchment. And then, I mean, if you've got a couple of these tubes, you could take some elastic bands around that and let it sort of sit that way. So that, sorry, what's that? Did I mean low tack tape? What did I say? Attaching I meant high tack tape. When we were talking about that, it's high tack tape, not low tack. Low tack is just like the masking tape, that won't do anything. Yeah, So, and then just take that, put some elastic bands around it, leave it for about half an hour, and then it would have formed a better shape and make it easier for you then to create your cracker. And it's the same on this one. You'll see that you've got you look at the two different sides, this is flush, you've got like a proper half a diamond here. So I would take my ruler again and I would put some high tack tape, that's what I meant, high tack tape along this edge and some high tack tape along that edge. If you're using the really fine one, that's what you do. But if you've got one that's wide enough to do the whole piece, then that's great. Okay. But what you want to do is you definitely need, it definitely makes a difference by having it up against this edge here. So you're repeating that half diamond and against this edge here. Okay. When I did the felt one, it didn't matter so much because they're so small that one piece will hold everything secure. Okay. I hope all that made sense. I don't know what I'm saying. I could have been saying anything. We've done quite a few Clarity Social TV shows over the past month. And if you've missed any of those, go to the claritycraft.com website. In the right-hand corner, there's a turquoise button that says Clarity TV. You can go back, you can go in there and you can watch all of the previous shows that we've brought to you. Because there's always, it's not just about selling to you, it's all about educating you as well. So you can go back, there's lots of tips and tricks and different ideas. And when you look at the ideas from the design team, we can really sort of spend the time and really look at them and go into them. Like, this has been used from here, this has been used from there. After this is finished, give it about half an hour. And what I'll do is I'll get this hour loaded up against the cracker die, the die cut cracker blanks, and also the groovy cracker as well. So that maybe you've already got them at home and you're thinking, oh, what did he do? How did he do this? They'll be there for you to go back and so it could be against the product as well. So thank you for your company as always. Jane very kindly was helping out today. Thank you, Jane. So where are we now? We're Tuesday, just gone 3 o'clock. Barb will be back in the shack on Thursday at 7 o'clock, continuing with the alphabet, N for nativity. I think you've done Jesus, Mary and Joseph. You've done the shepherds. I wonder what's coming next. So that's Thursday evening at 7 o'clock. And then on Monday, it's back in the shack at 10 a.m. to continue with N for nativity. So enjoy the rest of your week.